Welcome to Daily Overdose.
You gotta have care to have passion. And you hear people say all the time, I don't care. If that's you, you don't have passion. You gotta care, okay? You gotta care if we win or lose. You gotta care if we come in last place. You gotta care if I don't win a championship, I'm gonna be pissed off. You gotta care if you get divorced. You gotta care if you file bankruptcy. You gotta care if you don't get the 3.0 GPA you shooting for. You fill in your goals, you fill in your blanks, you fill in your dreams, you fill in your goals. And at the end of the day, let me tell you something, champ. You gotta care. Because if you don't care, guess what? It ain't gonna happen. If you don't care, guess what? You ain't gonna grind. If you don't care, guess what? You're gonna quit when it's getting tough. If you don't care, you're gonna throw in the towel. So I'm here to tell you, the first thing we gotta do is get you to care about your future, get you to care about your goals, get you to care about succeeding, get you to care about failing. Let me tell you something. If you go into a jungle, there's two people who care. That lion, that gazelle. That gazelle wants to live another day, and that lion wants to eat so he can live another day. And let me tell you who's gonna win that battle. The one who cares the most. Because that lion knows if I give all my energy after this gazelle, and if I miss the gazelle, if I don't catch the gazelle, I've exerted all this energy and I don't get to eat, I gotta waste another day to eat, I'm in trouble because I won't have the same strength tomorrow. I won't have the same focus tomorrow. I won't have the same drive tomorrow. I won't have the same energy tomorrow. So I got to care enough that I see this opportunity, I see that gazelle coming by, I gotta get it. And on the other hand, that gazelle is like, man, if I can elude this lion, I can live another day. If I can elude this lion, I can get home to my family. If I can elude this lion, I can get home to my babies. If I can elude this lion, I can get my family out the projects. If I can elude this lion, we can get off welfare. If I can elude this lion, I can get out of bankruptcy. If I can elude this lion just one more day, maybe I can get off drugs. If I can just elude this lion, even in the jungle, the lion and the gazelle, the one who's gonna win is the one who cares the most. But I don't care where you are in life. I don't even care what your lot is in life. I don't care where your mama is. I don't care what your daddy is. I don't care what they did. I don't care how they are. I don't care your background. I don't care what house you in. I don't care what neighbor you from. I don't care what side of the tracks that you on. All I'm telling you right now is that until you care, you can't get to A. Inside your company, who cares the most? Inside your division, who cares the most? Inside your family, who cares the most? We gotta care, man. And if that lion is hungry enough, and if he care enough, he gonna get that gazelle. But if that gazelle is fast enough and elusive enough, that gazelle gonna get away. When you wake up in the morning, every day, you gotta care. And you gotta live your life like you a lion. You gotta live your life like you are that gazelle. What are you doing with your mind? What are you doing with your mentality? What are you doing with your mindset that's going to position you to make sure that when this is over, you benefit from this break? I'm stuck in the house, just like you. Now I'm wearing masks, just like you. Now I'm wearing gloves, just like you. I'm checking on my 96-year-old grandmother, just like you. I'm checking on my 80-year-old mother, just like you. I'm making sure my kids are being smart and washing my hands, just like you. But because I'm home, that means I don't care anymore. Because I'm home don't mean my purpose goes away. Because I'm home, I can't talk into a microphone, so I talk into a phone. I talk into a computer. I talk into softwares. I talk into Facebook. I talk into Instagram. And tonight I'm talking to Twitter. Why? You already know. Because I care. Now, can I ask you a question? What is it about your future that you need to do to get to where you want to be? And once you understand that, you got to put yourself in a mindset that you don't want to disappoint you. You don't want to disappoint you. Because if you're okay disappointing you, it's almost impossible to get better. What's that one thing that's holding you back from your next level? And once you understand what that one thing is, now you're halfway there. Now we can figure out, okay, if we can improve this one thing and get 10% better every year, in 5 years, we won't even recognize your business. We won't recognize your life. We won't recognize you. Why? Because you got exponentially better. And that's important to me because a part of my purpose and the reason I'm on this earth to help you get better. You can't afford to stay the same. Wherever you want to be in life. You just got to care enough, man. When that setback comes, so when that hater shows up, so when that rejection shows up, so when that setback shows up, so when that doubt shows up, so when that soreness shows up, so it don't matter. You gotta want it bad enough. I've had my teeth knocked out. I got screws in my feet. Let me tell you something. It don't matter. Why? Because I care. When I got inducted into the Hall of Fame for motivational speakers, I was sitting at the table and a young lady came up to me. She says, "Wow, Walter, you're going into the Hall of Fame. That is so cool. Aren't you excited?" I said, "Yeah, I'm excited." She said, "You don't act like it." But you know what I told her? After getting cut out the NBA, you know what I told her? After making minimum in the NBA, you know what I told her? After crying in my wife's arms, after I got cut out the NBA, you know what I told her? For the first time in my life, I expected to be here. For the first time in my life, I shot for the A and I got it. For the first time in my life, I went for the throat and I got it. For the first time in my life, I went to be number one and I got it. For the first time in my life, I wasn't happy with getting a C anymore. For the first time in my life, I made up my mind to be an A student and I expected to be an A student. And guess what? I got the A. I talked to people in Australia and London and Cyprus and Africa, all over the world because I just wanted to get the A because I cared enough. For the first time in my life, I didn't talk myself out of it. For the first time in my life, I wasn't happy being average. For the first time in my life, I made up my mind that I'm going to be an A student no matter what. I've been motivating people for 19 years. And I'm a Hall of Fame speaker, which means I'm good at what I do. But the only reason I'm good at what I do, watch this, because I care.
Where is the wealthiest place in the world? It's not China, it's not Dubai, it's the graveyard. Because in the graveyard, you will find inventions never invented, businesses never erected, songs never sung, books never written, ideas never nurtured, people never realized. But you want to know something else? You're not in the graveyard yet. We get one life, and every passing moment, we will never get back again. The problem is, you think you have time. Stop wasting your life.
How many hours a day you waste or how many hours a week you waste. And the classic answer is something like 4 to 6 hours a day. You know, inefficient studying, watching things on YouTube that not only do you not want to watch, that you don't even care about, that make you feel horrible about watching after you're done. That's probably 4 hours right there. You know, you think, well, that's 25 hours a week. It's 100 hours a month. That's 2.5 full work weeks. It's half a year of work weeks per year. And if your time is worth $20 an hour, which is a radical underestimate. It's probably more like 50 if you think about it in terms of deferred wages. If you're wasting 20 hours a week, you're wasting $50,000 a year. And you are doing that right now. And it's because you're young, wasting $50,000 a year is a way bigger catastrophe than it would be for me to waste it because I'm not going to last nearly as long. And so if your life isn't everything it could be, you could ask yourself, well, what would happen if you just stopped wasting the opportunities that are in front of you?
You got to be very intentional and deliberate. The stuff that you're dreaming about, the stuff that you want to happen, it's not going to happen by osmosis. Like, you got to get up and you got to go after it. And what the devil wants you to do, what the enemy wants you to do is get distracted and focus on stuff you shouldn't be focusing on. He wants you to stay in bed. What he would love to do is for you to waste these next 2 or 3 weeks.
People spend time waiting for when the time is going to be right. They're waiting for the pieces to fall into place. They're waiting for the planets to align. They're waiting for everything to be all set. It's not going to happen. You want to know when the time is right? The time is right now. All you have to do to kill procrastination is just start.
More active and commendable still is the person who is waiting for the daylight and intercepts the first rays of the sun. Shame on him who lies in bed dozing when the sun is high in the sky, whose waking hours commence in the middle of the day.
You have to dedicate every breath, every ounce of energy, and every thought and effort that you possibly have in your heart to becoming what it is you want to be. Because nothing great comes from a position of comfort. Everything worthwhile, everything that is great comes from being in a position of uncomfortable. Nothing worthwhile is easy to get. Everything's going to make you uncomfortable. Get used to it. And if you can get used to being uncomfortable, your limits are non-existent.
Everything strives to become all it can possibly be, and that striving to become is what discipline is all about. Disciplining ourselves to fulfill our natural potential to become all that we can be. And finally, discipline attracts opportunity. Opportunity is always looking for ambition and skill in action. Discipline taps the unlimited power of commitment. The human will in action, driven by inspiration, enticed by desire, tempered by reason, guided by intelligence, can bring you to that high and lofty place called the good life. Discipline, those unique steps of intelligent thought and activity that put a lid on temper and a faucet on courtesy, that develop positive and control negative, that encourage success and deter failure, that design lifestyle and control frustration, that enhance health and curb sickness, that promote happiness and manage sadness. Discipline, the start and the continuing process that brings all good things. And remember, anyone can start the process. It's not if I could, I would. It's if I would, I could. If I will, I can. So start the new process. You can begin a new habit no matter how small it is. Small isn't important. Whether or not you start and whether or not you continue are all that is important. And don't be deluded by an affirmation. Only affirm what you are truly prepared to do. Many of us delude ourselves with our words into believing that we're making changes and making progress, when in fact our daily activity is taking us in the exact opposite direction of our affirmations. Why would you walk in the opposite direction of your dreams? The man dreams of wealth and walks daily towards certain financial disaster. The man wishes for happiness and thinks the thoughts and commits the acts that take him to certain despair. So to have a prosperous life, start a prosperity plan. To become wealthy, start a wealth plan. Remember, you don't have to be wealthy to have a wealth plan. A person with no means can have a rich plan. If you are ill, start a health plan. If you don't have energy, start an energy plan. If you don't feel good, start a feel-good plan. If you're not smart, start a smart plan. If you can't, start a can plan. If you haven't, start a have plan. Anyone can. Even a bad person can start hearing good messages and reading good books. Recognize that the start of the better life, the happy life, the wealthy life, is today. This is exciting. Both the process and the result can begin today. Start the new journey today. If you think of a new idea, today is the day to begin the discipline of putting that idea into action. Set this day up as a long, busy, exciting start for your new life. Get your first book for your new library today. Begin your new practice of setting goals today. Start clearing out a drawer of your new orderly desk today. Start eating an apple a day on your new health plan today. Put some money in your new investment for fortune account today. Start reading with intensity for your new wealth of mind plan today. Write a postponed letter today. Make a delayed telephone call today. Pick up your camera and take a picture of something to start your new treasury of photographs today. Get some momentum going on your new commitment to the better life. See how many activities you can pile on in this first day. Go all out. Break away from the negative downward pull of gravity. Start the thrusters going. Prove to yourself that waiting is over, hoping is past, and that faith and action have now taken charge. It's a new day, a new beginning for your new life. With discipline, you can't believe the list of positive moves you can make in the first day of your new beginning. What have you got to lose? Only the despair and fear and guilt of the past. Only the dissatisfaction and unhappiness and lack of fulfillment of the past. Only the frustration and low self-esteem of the past.
Don't let yourself forget how many doctors have died, furrowing their brows over how many deathbeds, how many astrologers after pompous forecasts about others' ends, how many philosophers after endless disquisitions on death and immortality, how many warriors after inflicting thousands of casualties themselves, how many tyrants after abusing the power of life and death atrociously, as if they were themselves immortal. How many whole cities have met their end? Haile, Pompeii, Herculaneum, and countless others. And all the ones you know yourself, one after another. One who laid out another for burial and was buried himself, and then the man who buried him, all in the same short space of time. In short, know this: human lives are brief and trivial. Yesterday, a blob of semen. Tomorrow, embalming fluid, ash. To pass through this brief life as nature demands. To give it up without complaint. Like an olive that ripens and falls. Praising its mother, thanking the tree it grew on. If you do the task before you, always adhering to strict reason with zeal and energy, and yet with humanity, disregarding all lesser ends and keeping the divinity within you pure and upright, as though you were even now faced with its recall. If you hold steadily to this, staying for nothing and shrinking from nothing, only seeking in each passing action a conformity with nature, and in each word and utterance a fearless truthfulness, then the good life shall be yours. And from this course no man has the power to hold you back. Soon you'll be ashes or bones, a mere name at most. And even that is just a sound, an echo. The things we want in life are empty, stale and trivial. Dogs snarling at each other, quarreling children, laughing and then bursting into tears a moment later. Trust, shame, justice, truth, gone from the earth and only found in heaven. Why are you still here? Sensory objects are shifting and unstable. Our senses dim and easily deceived. The soul itself a decoction of the blood. Fame in a world like this is worthless. And so, wait for it patiently, annihilation or metamorphosis. And until that time comes, what? Honor and revere the gods. Treat human beings as they deserve. Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. Remember, nothing belongs to you but your flesh and blood, and nothing else is under your control.